Do we need to understand our enemy? Yes, we do. Why? Because if we don't, we will only see him as whatever form he has presented himself as. See, he doesn't come to us as the devil, the enemy of God. See, he could have come to Adam and Eve, revealing himself as who he really was and what his intentions were. But that wasn't going to work. He comes in disguise. He comes as something that he is not. And since we know that the enemy uses other vessels, we have to take a good hard look at those forms again. If he's coming as something he is not, he never shows us the consequences. He always hides the results. He's never going to show us the truth about what's going to happen if we hold wrong beliefs. Erwin Lutzer said it perfectly when he said that the enemy's strategy is to give people what they want, but to make sure that they eventually get what he wants them to have. Wow, just think about that. To give people what they want, to make sure they eventually get what he wants them to have. So wait, the outcome isn't immediate? That sounds really strategic, doesn't it? So you actually get what you're seeking, seemingly good or bad for a time, but it eventually changes? Satan wants to keep us ignorant. How often do we only see things more and more as the modern world that we're used to, that's right in front of us, even as we're reading that we do not wrestle with flesh and blood? How about when we're reading about Satan having to obtain consent to do things to Job? Did Job see any of that interaction on the supernatural realm? No, and we don't either. Sometimes I think we only partially believe in that aspect. Like we read about it, but all we see is whatever is right in front of us that we can touch. In a book by Erwin Lutzer called God's Devil, which, by the way, if you've never read that, you should really check that book out. He says this: Satan is especially interested in selling another gospel with a sweeter message and a bogus guarantee. Sometimes Satan uses blatant lies. At other times, he mixes truth and error. If we are blind to a part of the truth, we are open to deception. And no one is as blind as the person who has been deceived into believing that he now sees. What do you see yourself doing, giving, and inherently teaching to others? Just remember, Satan is not looking for a vessel that won't serve his purposes. He needs something that will be accepted by his target. Are you the target, or are you the targeted vessel?